ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The spotlight's on. Time to stake your claim for Monday Night Football's Hall of Fame. The Lions and Giants are ready to go. They all turn it up when they play in this show. The scrambles, the catches, the hard-hitting D. What a football game this turned out to be. Tell me if you're ready for a party. Let me hear it if you want to win. You know it's time to ball. We about to kick it off and all y'all let the games begin. Oh yeah. Detroit, get ready. New York, get ready. Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party. Stage is set. Let's get it kick-started. Yeah. Here's your game face on. And the crowd's getting psyched. Oh yeah. All my riding friends are here on Monday night.
And in a tradition that dates all the way back to last year, Ahmad Bradshaw of the Giants 2007 Super Bowl championship team will ring the bell to start the game. Number of members of the 2007 Super Bowl winning team here tonight, celebrating the 10th anniversary of their victory over the New England Patriots. Not sure, Coach, if they actually ring the bell or they just stand around the bell. There we go.
Those guys could ring a lot of people's bell. Great football team.
ESPN Deportes broadcast of Monday Night Football airing on ESPN2 with Alvaro Martin, Raul Alegre, and John Sutcliffe. For the second year in a row here in the Meadowlands, the Giants hosting the Detroit Lions. They played in Week 15. Last year, a 17-6 Giants victory. Aldrich Rosas kicks off for New York. They won the toss and deferred. The Lions will get it first. Here's the rookie Jamal Agnew out of the University of San Diego, upended as he reached the 20-yard line. Kerry Wynn down there covering the kickoff. Here's Matthew Stafford making his 99th straight start. Longest streak by a quarterback in team history. And that arm is warmed up. 39.3 pass attempts per game, most all time. Drew Brees is second on that list at 37 pass attempts per game. They open with a single back, Amir Abdullah. And he charges ahead for about 5 to the 24-yard line.
Ball distribution, that's the key to this Lion offense. Matt Stafford, 5 different receivers, over 50 catches a year ago, and he's doing more and more at the line of scrimmage. You're already in a no-huddle offense, and keep an eye on these running backs, Abdullah and Riddick. I expect these men to see the ball in the passing game a lot.
Lions again this year trying to get the ground game going. These were 2 of the worst rushing teams in the NFL last year and in recent years for that matter. Stafford over the middle. Pass is caught by Eric Ebron, the tight end, into Giants territory. Out to his own 40-yard line.
Well, play action pass. You see the rookie linebacker Munson, number 46. He's going to take the cheese. He's going to bite on this fake, and they're going to throw the deep cross right in behind them. The Lions don't have to run the ball for 100 yards tonight. They have to run it just enough to set up these early down play action passes. Nice start for Detroit.
Stafford on target. His first pass of the game last week against Arizona was intercepted and run back 82 yards for a touchdown by Justin Bethel. That was his first throw as the highest paid man in football. He bounced back to throw 4 touchdown passes in that win. Amir Abdullah got stuffed. Devon Kennard up from the linebacker position to make the tackle. The remade offensive line for Detroit. Veterans Lang and Wagner via free agency on the right, and they traded for Greg Robinson, a former #1 pick, late in the preseason. Talented group of backs and receivers. They had 5 different players catch 50 passes or more last year. that led the NFL, all but Anquan Bolden back among that group. Michael Roberts, tight end, lined up in front of Amir Abdullah. Like a hit behind the line, slipped down and did not make it back to the line of scrimmage. Taken down at the 41-yard line. Olivier Vernon with penetration. Dalvin Tomlinson made the tackle.
That's not penetration, Sean. That's absolutely annihilation. He runs right over Greg Robinson, and he forces this ball to bounce outside. I love Olivier Vernon. Last year played through a broken hand. He's healthy this year. You're going to see him all over the place for this Giant defense tonight.
3rd down and 10. Dwayne Washington and Michael Roberts on the hips of Stafford. Scrambles to throw. Darren Fells, the tight end, banged down by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. There's Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, without a couple of starters tonight in Jenkins and Goodson.
Well, it's a 3-man rush. They keep him in the pocket, and when he escapes late, watch the left side of your screen. New York Giants keep great vision on the quarterback as he breaks contain, and they plaster down the field. Well done by this Giant defense.
New punter for Detroit, Jeff Locke, former Minnesota Viking punter. They lost their punter Casey Redfern to a knee injury last week. He was actually in for Sam Martin, who got hurt in the offseason. So Locke's first punt as a Lion is a fair catch made by Dwayne Harris. 41-yard punt. Eli Manning and the Giant offense on the field. Full championship team of the 2007 season. Most memorable play of that game, one of the most memorable plays in Super Bowl history, the helmet catch by David Tyree, 32-yard reception. Wound up being the final catch of his 6-year NFL career. Giants on offense for the first time. Paul Perkins is their featured back. Goes nowhere. Tahir Whitehead with penetration from the linebacker position for Detroit.
And so far there is no Odell Beckham. Roger Lewis lining up as the starter at the bottom of the screen, and you're going to see a lot of up-tempo offense from Eli Manning, Sean, tonight.
201st consecutive regular season start, 3rd longest of all time. Only his brother Peyton Manning and the all-time record holder Brett Favre have more consecutive starts in NFL history among quarterbacks. It's 213 in a row if you count the playoffs. Manning in trouble and sacked. And the ball comes out very late. Haloti Ngata knocked the ball loose. No whistle, so at least for the moment it's alive, and it's a Detroit touchdown for Darius Slay.
When you try to throw a double move, you got to hold the ball and let the route develop. And every time the Giants hold the ball, they seem to get in trouble.
The officials are conferring. Was Manning down before the ball came out? Looked live like he was down, and it looks like he's down there. I guess the only question would be, was the ball starting to come out before his knee hit the ground?
Previous play is going to be reviewed. Fumbled touchdown versus down by contact.
John Perry is the referee tonight. Of course, he'll get help from right across the river in the NFL offices in New York City, and Al Riveron, who leads the NFL officiating crew. Good chance, John, to bring in Jerry Austin, longtime on the field NFL referee. Jerry, what do you think? Your first test of the night?
Well, when you look at it at regular speed, it appears the ball is coming loose just before the knee touches. I don't think there's sufficient evidence to overturn this call. It's going to stand.
It just seems every week, Sean, Manning gets hit on the opening possession of the game. We saw it in Cleveland in the preseason. It happened in the opening possession against Dallas, opening possession against the Jets in the preseason. And wouldn't you know, the Detroit Lions get after Eli Manning, and that's just the biggest problem that I see with the timing of this offense. I don't feel like you can have any confidence at all in your protection, and I think Eli's process is speeding up. It'll be an interesting judgment here by the officials.
After reviewing the play prior to the fumble, the quarterback's left knee was down by contact. The ball will be placed back at the 13-yard line. 3rd down. The clock will remain as is.
Close call, but it is reversed. And he'll spot the ball at the 13-yard line. Here is Odell Beckham Jr. on the field for the first time this year. Injured his ankle in a preseason game in Cleveland on August 21st. Didn't practice for 24 days. Did return to practice Thursday of this week. He told us Saturday feels like he's at about 80%. Third down and 13 for New York. A lot of problems on offense for the Giants, most notably that offensive line. Very conservative call by Ben McAdoo. Shane Vereen on the draw. And the Boo Birds are out very early for the Giant offense. These fans are tired of what they've watched dating back well into last season.
That's a hard offense to watch right now. That's a give-up call right there, but sometimes you're calling plays to score touchdowns. Sometimes you're calling plays to just punt the football and give your defense another chance. Stay tuned. This protection must improve.
Brad Wing on the punt, and a teammate of Odell Beckham Jr. at LSU. Short kick and a bad bounce for New York. Detroit will have excellent field position near midfield. Just a 37-yard punt. If you weren't with us before the game, one of the big stories of the night, B.J. Goodson, the starting middle linebacker for New York, unable to play with a leg injury. So Calvin Munson, a rookie, undrafted free agent out of San Diego State, matching wits as the defensive signal caller with Matthew Stafford and the Lions offense. Excellent field position for Detroit from their own 46. Second possession of the night for the Lions, and a play fake to Amir Abdullah. And a deep throw, single coverage, and it's incomplete, intended for Marvin Jones with Eli Apple in coverage, and he'll likely see more action tonight without Janoris Jenkins. There's the front four. Many believe the Giants' front four is the best in football, with Pierre-Paul Harrison, the rookie Tomlinson, and Vernon. There's Munson between Kennard and the defensive captain Jonathan Casillas. No Janoris Jenkins, the Pro Bowler a year ago, out with an ankle injury, so Eli Apple will see more action at corner. He was going to be in there as a part of their nickel. Out of the pistol, Amir Abdullah slipping a bit as he turned the corner, but a nifty gain into Giant territory to the 46. It'll be third down and 2.
Well, the Lions have been looking for a feature back for a long time, and this is a beautiful cutback run by Abdullah. I thought Rick Wagner got away with a holding call, but you see the elusiveness of Amir Abdullah. And he can catch the football. I expect to see these backs before the night be a big factor.
Theo Riddick on the left hip of Stafford, one of the best pass catching running backs in the league. Third down and 2. Stafford on his back foot has a receiver. Eric Ebron again, and a first down to the Giants' 40-yard line.
Take that for granted if you're a Lions fan. What a throw by Stafford. He has the ability with these awkward releases. He doesn't get all these passes batted down. He can alter his arm angle and throw strikes. That's a beautiful job by the veteran quarterback Stafford.
Now it is 9th year, all with Detroit. Out of the University of Georgia, #1 overall pick. They were 0-16 the year before he got there. He's taken them to the playoffs 3 times, including a year ago. The pitch to Abdullah with Lyman in front, and Amir tackled around the legs by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie after a gain to the 35-yard line.
Abdullah had a Liz Frank foot injury, missed 14 games last year. And this is the young man they are counting on to carry the load in this Lion backfield. It's been 6 years in a row, Sean. They've had a different leading rusher. But he's an all-purpose back. He can catch it. He's a good runner between the tackles. He's also a very good kick returner.
They are trying to establish the run clearly tonight. Already 5 carries for 17 yards for Abdullah. And they stick with Abdullah. And he turns the corner. Very near a first down. There is a flag down on the play.
That's going to be Greg Robinson at left tackle. He's had a history of this.
For 73, 10-yard penalty, replay, Second down.
Second pick in the draft a few years ago by the Rams. He just can't stop committing penalties. He had 35 penalties.
Since he
more
came
than
into the
any
league.
man in the league. And in that field position, in that down and distance, that's a critical mistake. And obviously they missed Taylor Decker, their normal left tackle, who's still out for a couple weeks.
With a right shoulder injury suffered in practice in June, they hope to get Decker back at mid-season. He's another first-round pick out of the University of Michigan. From the 45, a screen. Here's Theo Riddick. Down to the 38-yard line. Landon Collins, the all-pro safety, made the play. Well, they've had a tough time running the football for a long time in Detroit. They've gone 53 straight games without a 100-yard rusher in a game. Reggie Bush, the last to do it, Thanksgiving of 2013 against the Packers. Their leading rusher last season, Theo Riddick, had just 357 yards. That's the lowest total for a leading rusher on a playoff team since 1984. David Hughes of the Seahawks ran for 327 that year when Kurt Warner was injured. Stafford flushed from the pocket, showing that running ability that John talked about before the game, and he slides down with a first down at the 24-yard line of New York.
I can't tell you how shocking it was for me when I watched him in my offseason preparation. I mean, there's nothing there. It's another three-man rush. They're trying to protect their injured secondary, and off goes Stafford, and he runs through the New York Giants for a huge first down. What a competitor he is, and not only can he run, this man can throw the ball into any zip code you want it.
Well, he should be able to do a lot. He's the highest paid player in the league. Signed a new contract in late August. It averages out to $27 million a season. Amir Abdullah can't find any running room that time. Again, it's Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie from the corner.
You know, get back to the Lions running game, Sean. That last graph we had was great. We know they've been struggling, but who is their best runner? Who are their best blockers, and what is their best blocking scheme? I think that's what they got to find out in Detroit. Offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter has tried to emphasize it, but they need to ask themselves those three questions and figure it out, because their running game has been horrific.
They were the only team in the league last year that did not have a player rush for 400 yards. Stafford again pressured, but they can't get him down, and now he's going to get as much as he can. Lunge back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a great job by Eli Apple. And Thompson plastering to Marvin Jones, number 11, at the bottom of the screen. Jones starts to the inside. Thompson feels it over the top, and they did an excellent job holding their coverage, because that's right where Stafford wanted to go.
Third down and 12. It was a big problem for Dallas, for the Giants in Dallas last week. The Cowboys were 8 out of 15 on third down. They could not get off the field, the Giant defense. They are in field goal range for Matt Prater. Four-man rush. Stafford well protected, lofts it up, and it's a touchdown for Marvin Jones.
Eli Apple struggled last week big time against Dallas, and that's the third time they've been looking for Apple. Just a straight go route. 4 verticals. Stafford saw the matchup. He felt Landon Collins get out of position, and he threw a back shoulder fade. Beautiful throw. Jones, who had 930 yards receiving last year, is the Lions certified deep threat. That's a great adjustment. Touchdown Detroit.
Jones scored their first touchdown of the season. The catch last week against Arizona. This one's 27 yards. They were 3 for 3 on third down on the drive, so the Giants defense continues to struggle on third down. And here's Matt Prater, the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week last week. Kicked a 58-yard field goal, got thrust into the punting role after Redfern got hurt. Punted respectably 3 times in that game. There is, we believe, a flag down on the play. The extra point's good. John Perry, the referee. You want to go ahead with your John Perry story?
Yeah, he's from
Offside. Defense number 24. Detroit has elected for that penalty to be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. Timeout.
one of my old high school buddies. I hit a home run against John Perry. He still talks about it. I crushed it.
Said it was a shot you hit for South Bend play. 25th at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on ABC. So Freddie's going to be on against us. Is Freddie on the Good Doctor going to promote Monday Night Football?
I hope he is.
Equal time. Jeff Locke kicks off. And it's a good one. A touchback. An ugly start for the New York Giants after a dreadful performance in their opener at Dallas 8 days ago. 4 minutes to go in the first half. 7-0 Detroit. Eli Manning completed 29 passes, but many of them short passes. The Giants last week had just 2 first downs in the first half. Won 11 games last year despite the fact they were 26th in the league in scoring. Leaned heavily on the defense. On the reverse, Sterling Shepard, second-year man out of Oklahoma. Some creativity in the play calling there. Glover Quinn chopped him down, but it's a first down for New York after a 12-yard gain. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, Giants right tackle Bobby Hart, he limped off the field during that first possession, went straight back to the locker room, apparently re-aggravated the same right ankle he hurt last week early in the game against the Cowboys. We just got word that his night is done. He will not return. Sean?
They missed some practice time during the week. Brett Jones has come in for New York. Odell Beckham Jr. tackled by Darius Slay. So there's the first catch of the season for Odell, who caught 101 balls last year.
Well, who better to spark your offense than Odell Beckham? Just an under route. And good tackling by the Lions secondary, but it's a double switch up front for the Lions, or the Giants offensive line. Justin Pugh has moved from guard to tackle, and you said it, Jones is now in at left guard.
Brandon Marshall, the motion man, the new Giant who caught just 1 ball against Dallas. 6-time Pro Bowler. On the slant, it's Roger Lewis Jr. with a first down to the 49-yard line.
Giants run all kind of slants. 1-step slants, 3-step slants, and 5-step slants. And they make a lot of their yardage after the catch. That's a nice, accurate bullet slant by Eli Manning.
8-yard gain. They take a handoff to Paul Perkins, and it's dumped off to the tight end, Red Ellison, who came over from Minnesota primarily to be a blocker and try to help the running game. Paul Warlow made the tackle. It's another first down for New York.
They're changing the launching spot. You're going to see the bootleg after the fake to the left. Zettel took the fake, and there's Red Ellison for a nice gain on first down. But they are moving the launching spot. Quick pass, bootleg. Good play selection by Ben McAdoo.
Second catch as a Giant for Ellison. He had 1 last week. Just 53 career catches in 6 years. He doesn't catch many. Perkins bounced off a hit behind the line, but could not get back to the line of scrimmage. Tavon Wilson had penetration, and then Darius Slay finished the job. Here's a look at the Lions defense. The veterans up front are the stalwarts. Nada and Ansa. Whitehead, Davis, and Warlow are the linebackers. Warlow, a newcomer from the Atlanta Falcons. And in the secondary, Lawson will split time with DJ Hayden at the 1 corner opposite Darius Slay. Perkins down to the 34-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah made the tackle. Ben McAdoo calls the plays. He was the offensive coordinator for the last couple of years of Tom Coughlin's great run here, then was promoted to head coach when Tom Coughlin moved on.
They have a lot of different personnel groupings, Sean. They're using 2 tight ends. They're using 3 tight ends. And here they're back to their 11 personnel with Odell Beckham at the top of the screen.
Shane Vereen in the backfield, excellent pass receiver. He caught 9 balls last week against Dallas. Manning throws on target. Evan Ingram, the tight end, first-round pick, the rookie out of Ole Miss, banged down by Quandre Diggs, and some rhythm finally on offense for the Giants. As the first quarter comes to an end with a 17-yard game. Here at MetLife Stadium, the New York Giants still looking for their first touchdown of the season. They didn't score a touchdown in the first quarter, so it's just the second time since 1938 that they have failed to score a touchdown in the first 5 quarters of their season. It happened in 1965, and that's it since 1938. A historically bad start to the season on offense for New York, but perhaps about to punch it in the end zone. They're in the red zone at the 18. And Manning going to the end zone for the touchdown. Evan Ingram.
Well, you got to know if you're the Detroit Lions that Evan Ingram is not motioning into the backfield to be a lead blocker. That time he acted like a lead blocker and slipped right down the middle. There's nobody home. He's going to fool the linebackers, the safeties. They think it's a lead block. There's nobody home. That's great design, but you must know that Evan Ingram is a pass receiver. He is not in there to be a fullback on a running play. Keep an eye on this young man. He has 4.4 speed, 2-time captain at Ole Miss, and he gives the Giants some vertical presence at the tight end position they have not had. Love to see the Giants answer a score. That's a good drive.
Evan Ingram called for unsportsmanlike conduct after his first NFL touchdown. Eli Manning 6 for 6 on that drive. Here's the rookie Aldrich Rosas with the extra point that ties the game. How about the transition from the college game to the pro game for the first-round draft pick Evan Ingram?
Well, when you watched him at Ole Miss, all he really ran was seam routes and corner routes. And I asked him about it during training camp. He just laughed. He says, man, I got to learn a whole new route tree. So now when you watch Evan Ingram on tape, he's running shallow crosses, deep crosses, stick routes, stick nods. He's running all kind of different vertical patterns. And I just saw him line up at fullback and slip through there for a touchdown. Stay tuned to Evan Ingram. He is going to be a great pass receiver for the Giants, and they can use him in so many different ways. But until he establishes himself as a blocker, you got to be on top of your tip sheets and not get fooled by some of these play passes. That's great design by the New York Giants. This young man is intelligent. He won the Ozzie Newsome Award at Ole Miss, and he's quite the route runner.
2-time team captain at Ole Miss. Ran a 4.42 40 at the combine. That is ultra fast. From an athletic family, his sister Mackenzie plays basketball at the University of Georgia. And Rosas' kick goes out of bounds.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team by rule. Ball be placed at the 40-yard line.
You're wondering who ran a faster 40 at the combine among tight ends back in 2010. Doran Dickerson of Pitt, 4.40.
Well, they call him a tight end, Sean, but I really think until he proves that he can be a tight end and block on the end of line, you got to treat him like a wideout. And that time, he fooled the Lions, but I guarantee he's going to have to improve in a lot of areas as a blocker to be an all-purpose great tight end. But what a receiver he is.
They're spotting the ball on the 50-yard line. There was the penalty against Ingram on the kickoff. They're trying to make sure they spot it in the right place. Let's bring in Jerry Austin. Jerry, now they're moving it to the 45-yard line of the New York Giants.
Based on the previous penalty, the kickoff out of bounds goes from where that ball was kicked. 1st and 10, 45-yard line.
30 yards from the kickoff spot is where the ball is spotted if a kickoff goes out of bounds, and they have it correct now.
You want to tell your story about hitting the home run off John Perry again?
I'm just trying to learn all these rules every year. I get dumber and dumber.
Stafford under duress throws a wobbler over the head of Marvin Jones.
Steve Spagnuolo has all the blitzes. That time he fires a corner blitz. Stafford never saw it. Eli Apple, who got beat for the touchdown on the previous series, gets a chance to get even with Stafford. That's a vicious hit.
Well, if you're struggling to cover, you might as well blitz. Steve Spagnuolo said he was more concerned about the loss of Janoris Jenkins than he was the absence of B.J. Goodson tonight. Even though Goodson's the defensive signal caller. Again, they try to bring pressure. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie couldn't make the tackle, and instead it's a gain for Golden Tate with more yards after the catch last year than any player in the NFL. He made it to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Detroit.
Well, Calvin Munson recognized the no-back set that time, and he checked to an all-out blitz. Stafford saw it. He checked to a bubble screen, and there's Tate. Dangerous after the catch. But Munson's going to have to recognize and communicate a lot because Stafford is on the move.
With 9 possessions on defense, the Giants defense in week 1 at Dallas did not force a single 3-and-out. Looking for their first of the season. Tate gets the first down. They're still the only team in the NFL that doesn't have at least one 3-and-out on defense, and this is a defense that was 2nd in the league last year in scoring defense behind only New England.
Well, Rodgers-Cromartie has a chance to make this tackle, but I say it every week. When you watch Golden Tate play, he doesn't run a lot of up the field routes. He runs a lot of quick screens, routes near the line of scrimmage, but he is hard to tackle.
Detroit now 4 out of 5 on 3rd down. Golden Tate, 53 catches last year within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Matter of fact, 40 of those were at or behind the line of scrimmage. He's really an extension of their running game. They're back to the run with Theo Riddick. Banged down to the 33-yard line, tackled by Darian Thompson, the 2nd-year safety out of Boise State.
This is where I love to see the progression of Matthew Stafford doing so much more at the line of scrimmage on his own. He might take this clock all the way down to 8 seconds as he researches this defense of the Giants to get them in the best possible play.
Hey, tag 46. Smoke Richmond. Yeah, hear it.
Pressure again from Eli Apple. He deflected the pass, and it's no gain. It was complete to Eric Ebron, but Landon Collins there to blast him for New York.
Oh, Spagnuolo is on to something. That's another corner blitz from Eli Apple. Bottom of your screen. He's unaccounted for. You see Marvin Jones, number 11, break his route off. Got to communicate outside if you're a Lion wide receiver. I'd be surprised if Spagnuolo doesn't come back to that sometime soon.
Third down and 8. And the Giants bringing a steady diet of blitzes lately. That Matthew Stafford and his mates a bit rattled. Timeout Detroit, tied at 7 early in the 2nd quarter. To the fact that Steve Spagnuolo was without a couple of his key defenders tonight, and Spagnuolo trying to adjust on the fly.
Spagnuolo, no idea what blitzes he comes up with in these long yardage situations, but he would love to knock Stafford out of field goal position right here.
Third down and 8. Another blitz from Spagnuolo, and Stafford loses the football. Knocked away by Jason Pierre-Paul. And it looks like the Giants had it, and they do, at the 36-yard line.
These two pass rushers as good a combination as you'll find in the NFL, and there's some concern with Matt Stafford, but KPP went right around Rick Wagner. Right side of your screen, Pierre-Paul punishing Matt Stafford, and that's a huge impact play. You knock Stafford down, you sack, strip, fumble. Pierre-Paul and Vernon healthy. Battled through injuries a year ago, and that's a bad combination for everybody else.
Ron Kennard recovered the fumble for New York. So a takeaway for the Giants defense, and Manning down the middle behind Ingram, and it's intercepted by the Lions on the ricochet. Tyre Whitehead back inside the 30-yard line. Boy, it's a team that couldn't take the ball away at all last season. They had 14 takeaways all of last season. They had 4 in the opener against Arizona.
You're going to see Ingram on a crossing route. The Lions weren't fooled this time. They knew Ingram was in there to run a route. Eli just missed the throw. It's tip, and tip passes between the hash marks is a problem. Glover Quinn has been involved in more tip interceptions than any safety I've studied in the last several years. Here comes Detroit.
One area they really hope to improve in on defense, taking the ball away. Boy, have they done that at the start of the year. 16-yard return. 14 all last season, 5 already this season. And some running room for Amir Abdullah. Inside the 22-yard line, tripped up by Devon Kennard. Let's take a look back. It was Kennard who poked Matthew Stafford in the eye. I would want to ask Jerry Austin quickly. Jerry, should that be a penalty, or was what happened there okay?
That's just incidental contact and going after the ball. It was not a blow, therefore incidental.
2nd and 3. Lions try to reclaim the lead. Ebron open after the play fake. And he's out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Excellent pass receiving tight end who's had a hard time staying on the field in recent years due to injuries, but he caught 61 a year ago.
Well, every year his reception totals get higher and higher, but here's another pass receiving tight end. And even though you give him some of these rundown situation looks, you got to keep an eye on Ingram and Ebron. They are not in the game to block.
Wayne Washington, the running back. He squirts all the way down inside the 7-yard line.
Washington gives them a bigger back. And last year they only ran the ball, I think, 10 times for about 11 yards. But in comes Kenny Golladay, the rookie out of Northern Illinois. Had 2 touchdowns last week. And I expect Matt Stafford to keep an eye on this young man. He's 6'4". He's a high jump type wide receiver, and what a start to the season he has had.
He goes in motion closer to the line, matched up with Rogers Cromartie, stays in the block, and nothing doing. Landon Collins, one of the best defensive players in football, dropped the play right at the line of scrimmage.
Outnumbered, and in checks Theo Riddick. Scored a touchdown as a pass receiver last week against Arizona. I'd be surprised if they try to slip Theo Riddick out of the backfield on one of those choice routes that they love to throw.
3rd and goal from the 6. The Giants were the best red zone defensive team in the league last year. Stafford got away from JPP and throws a touchdown. Eric Ebron gives Detroit the lead again.
Said it in the pregame. You have to contain Stafford. That time they showed an all-out blitz. They bluffed it. Stafford read it beautifully, escaped trouble, and Darian Thompson, number 27, has to plaster in coverage. Somebody has to maintain their coverage down the field, and you cannot let Matt Stafford out of contain or you're in trouble. You get knocked down, you sack, you fumble, poked in the eye, you come right back with another scramble play touchdown. And not many guys playing better right now in the red zone than Matthew Stafford and his line offense.
Matt Prater for the extra point. The new holder, Jeff Locke, gets it down. After the interception, they need just 5 plays to score. Ebron already 5 catches for 42 yards and now a touchdown for Detroit. Stafford, now the highest paid player in NFL history, late August agreed to a 5-year, $135 million contract extension. That averages out to $27 million per year. It's not John Gruden money, but it's pretty good work if you can get it. And it probably won't last that long because the next quarterback who comes along, their team really needs to keep him, will probably one up that deal.
You know what? I'm glad that Detroit gave him that contract. I got a lot of respect for where the Lions have come in the 7, 8, 9 years that Matt Stafford has been. Let me show you what this guy can do. Things don't have to be perfect, Sean. It's 3rd down and long. He gets out of trouble and he runs through 3 Giants for a huge first down. And then he reads Landon Collins coming down. He knows he has one-on-one outside to his deep ball threat. Marvin Jones, great throw. And then a beautiful scramble play once again. Great touch, Ebron. He's making plays at the line of scrimmage with his audibles and recognition. He's scrambling and he's making outstanding throws. And you can see who the leader of the Lions is.
This season, he's 5 for 5 in the red zone, including last week's win over Arizona. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes. Orleans Darkwood running back now. Fan favorite here in the Meadowlands, and that will continue as he runs for 10, perhaps even 11. It is an 11-yard gain and a first down for New York.
They need to get this running game going, and they're going to use a lot of different backs. And Darkwa is a guy that comes into the huddle, and I just feel the offensive line get energized. He's a hard-running north-south back with some power. And Ben McAdoo doing a pretty good job tonight keeping the Lions off balance. Let's see if their rookie middle linebacker, Jared Davis, can step up his play in the middle of this Lion defense.
Lots of time for Eli, and there is Davis. Well, it's hard to blame that one on the offensive line. Eli had plenty of time, but ran out of it as Davis dumped him.
Spent a lot of time with Jared Davis, a rookie out of Florida, in the offseason, and this man is wired like a 1975 throwback player. He played the game for nothing, Sean.
21st pick in the draft out of the University of Florida. And the first Lions rookie to start the season opener at middle linebacker since the great Chris Spielman back in 1988. Coaches tell us he's in there at the latest every morning around 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Usually there at about 9 o'clock at night. And look out. Eli Manning will not get away from Ziggy Ansah.
Eric Flowers, no match for Ansah, who's coming back to full health. Flowers has been scrutinized heavily here for good reason. He has committed numerous penalties and has really struggled in one-on-one pass protection. Ziggy Ansah, who had 14.5 sacks in 2015, battled injury last year, and if this man comes back to his rare form, the Lions are a lot different team on defense. They've got some young, rising stars.
40.
Sacks of 10 yards, 8 yards, and now a penalty flag down.
Encroachment, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Ashawn Robinson. John, the Giants had a problem with the offensive line last year too. It's a young group. They made the decision to come back with the same 5 guys, thinking with a year of experience they'd be better. They don't look better.
No, they don't. And right now they're injured and they're missing 2 starters. That doesn't help either, but they have a long way to go.
Well, the Giants have a long way to go for the first down. They throw the quick hitter, Odell Beckham Jr. Tripped up by Glover Quinn, the outstanding safety in his 9th year now out of New Mexico, his 5th year with Detroit after 4 with Houston. He still lives in Houston, and that tackle mean $100 for the relief efforts.
I love Glover Quinn. You know, this GM of the Lions, Sean, has done a great job. Bob Quinn, another ex-New England Patriot. Young players and key veterans. It's a great combination. Here's Agnew, a rookie punt returner. They like it.
He averaged 16 yards per punt return on 3 returns against Arizona. The opener, short return there, tackled by Dwayne Harris. Quinn's getting $100 for every tackle, $5,000 for every interception to Hurricane relief in Houston. Since their Super Bowl 42 victory, getting ready to be honored at the half here tonight. Prior to the first down snap, a false start against Detroit.
Start, offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty.
Whoa.
First down.
Another penalty against Greg Robinson. Interesting. I mean, clearly he was a bust with the Rams. He was, as you said, the number 2 overall pick in 14.
Yeah,
they traded him to Detroit just before the season started for a 6th round pick.
Yeah, and he's committing too many penalties, obviously, and Olivier Vernon is having his way with him.
Lions coaches say they like what they've seen so far as a Lion from Robinson. Great physical talent. First and 15. Amir Abdullah. Nothing doing. A loss on the play. Run down by Jonathan Casillas. Plenty of other penetration.
Let me show you Olivier Vernon against Greg Robinson, and maybe you can see why Robinson has been committing penalties. Vernon is one of the best. He's a powerful guy that can really disrupt the run. And he can come off the edge with a bull rush. He's got great effort and stamina. He plays 95% of the snaps. He causes penalties. He wreaks havoc down after down.
Under 5 minutes to go in the half. Vernon, that time didn't quite get there, and the pass incomplete. Looked like Kenny Golladay didn't quite see it coming. There is a flag down right where Stafford hit the deck after the throw.
Well, he got hit hard by number 59, Devon Kennard, and is it roughing the passer?
Holding. Offense number 73.
Wow.
Penalty's been declined. 3rd down.
Wow, that looked like a late hit, but perhaps the officials were focused on another holding call on Greg Robinson.
I agree. That's got to be roughing the passer. The Giants dodge a bullet, but what do you do if you're Jim Caldwell, the head coach of the Lions? You have a real problem right now at left tackle, and on 2nd down and long, you got to be very careful in this field position.
They decline the penalty.
3rd and long.
3rd down, 16. Abdul, the running back. Detroit's 5 out of 7 on 3rd down. 4-man rush. Vernon got by Robinson. Stafford got it off in a double coverage and nearly caught by Marvin Jones. With Darian Thompson and Ross Cockrell, a newcomer, over from the Pittsburgh Steelers in coverage.
Ball should have been intercepted. Thompson, a deep safety with very good ball skills, should track this and make the interception, but I think he misjudged it. Got to keep an eye on Thompson, a young safety man who's going to be defending the post for this Giant defense.
Jeff Locke punting it away to Dwayne Harris, All-Pro special teamer, and he gets yanked down at the 37-yard line. 50-yard punt. 9-yard return. Odell Beckham's back in action, but he hasn't done much tonight. Can he get this Giants offense going? Giants offense, an ongoing science experiment with the essential ingredient, combustible Odelium, Odell Beckham Jr. It was 26% of their offense last year. That led all wide receivers in the league and was the highest percentage by a Giants wide receiver since Homer Jones in 1966. Tonight, 2 catches for 10 yards. They've targeted him twice. He's caught it both times. No targets to Brandon Marshall. He was supposed to come here and be a productive sidekick. And he's been in the witness protection program last week and again tonight.
We have to wonder what his role is here. What is his chemistry with Eli Manning? This is a completely different timing offense than he has been in. They're not moving him around, putting him in motion as much as some of these other offenses did, but love to see Marshall make a catch and get in this game.
He's still learning the system. He did miss a little time in training camp due to injury. It's largely about timing. There he is. Targeted, but it's incomplete, out of bounds as he made the catch. My question too would be, John, maybe 12 years in, his skills are diminishing. He caught 109 passes 2 years ago. He caught just 59 last year with the Jets. That's a big drop off. 50 fewer catches in 1 year to the next.
Perhaps. No matter who you are, this is a prove-it league, and he was supposed to be the perfect companion receiver for Odell Beckham. So far, Beckham has been hurt, and haven't seen Marshall do anything yet.
They targeted him only 4 times last week at Dallas. You'd think they'd really go to him without Beckham. But he didn't have a catch until 20 seconds remained in the game to extend his streak to 160 straight games with a catch and another sack.
Wow.
Ziggy Ansah with the sack of Eli Manning.
Ziggy Ansah is taking Flowers to school. And you see Perkins, number 28, is over there to help. But when he goes right down the midline, Eric Flowers, you are on your own, and you've got to sit down on this bull rush better than you are right now. Ansah, is he a freak of nature? Did you see him in a hotel last night?
Yes.
I wish I had him.
Basketball player originally from Ghana. Went to BYU. Jamal Agnew returns the punt from Brad Wing. They're going to mark it at the 25-yard line. So 3 minutes to go. A couple of timeouts on the Cardinals. 8:15 Eastern time. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern time. 1st and 10, Detroit leading 14-7. Dwayne Washington. He got rocked as he reached the 30-yard line. Ran into Devon Kennard. And Washington goes off after that big hit. 2:45 to go in the half and 2 timeouts remaining for the Lions.
And we've talked about Robinson at left tackle enough, but keep an eye on the right side of this Lion offensive line. 2 key free agent pickups. TJ Lang at right guard, the ex-Green Bay Packer, and Ricky Wagner comes over from the Ravens to play right tackle.
They spent $39.5 million in guaranteed money to bring those 2 over. They run to the other side with Amir Abdullah. He has a first down and much more. Across midfield and a touchdown saving tackle made by Darian Thompson.
Bad tackling by the Giant defense, and it's also great running. You're going to see Abdullah running to his left. Make a beautiful run to set up Detroit. Missed tackles.
American veterans through charity and fundraising efforts. Golden Tate's grandfather and an uncle served in the military. Last November, his foundation helped set up a 10-year Army veteran, Nick Scheider, with a place to propose to Shayna later at Ford Field. Set him up with the engagement ring and in arranging the spot. They're doing a lot of good work off the field and on for the Lions, who are trying to add to their 14-7 lead at the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 at the New York 46. A screen. Amir Abdullah's had a very productive half. There is a flag down. Nobody near Abdullah for most of that run, but it's coming back for a holding call against the Lions.
Boy, you rarely see holding on a screen pass.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty, first down.
TJ Lang, the ex-Green Bay Packer, does not like this call at all. I don't agree with this call either.
Homecoming for Lang, the former Packer, but he's from the Detroit area, from Royal Oak, Michigan, Brother Rice High School. That call nullified a 19-yard gain. 46 is the new middle linebacker, the rookie Calvin Munson, calling the defensive signals for New York with help through the headset from Steve Spagnuolo. Galladay thought he was not whistled down, but he was at the 48-yard line. They need to make the 36-yard line for a first down. 8-yard pickup by the rookie from Northern Illinois.
That's a matchup I'd like to see Detroit probe. Cockrell, new to the Giants, at the bottom of the screen.
Stafford, clean pocket, long throw. That's what they tried to do. Go to Galladay, working on Ross Cockrell. Was traded to the Giants on September 2nd by Pittsburgh for a conditional draft pick. He started every game for Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah, but he's not in Pittsburgh anymore, Mr. McDonough. And there's a reason why Pittsburgh traded him, and you got to find out if you're the Detroit Lions. Does he know this defense? It's the first time I've seen him participate. Janoris Jenkins, the Jackrabbit, one of the best, not able to go tonight, and they need to take advantage of that.
Suffered an ankle injury. Jenkins tried to give it a go during the one-ups. He was clearly limping. Here's Golden Tate, his specialty, the run after the catch. He didn't get enough for the first down. And now a decision for Jim Caldwell after a 10-yard gain.
Well, when you got Prater, a man who's kicked 11 field goals in a row of over 50 yards, why not? He hit a 58-yarder last week against Arizona. Can you imagine making 11 straight field goals from over 50? Here he is from 56 yards.
Connected from 58 against Arizona. Block the new holder. That one is hooking, and it's off the crossbar, and good.
Oh! 12 in a row for Prater. That's amazing. Jim Caldwell never flinched. He set his long bomber kicker out here, and you talk about all these fourth quarter comebacks they've had in Detroit. Matt Stafford doesn't get all the credit. It's Prater a lot of the time, and that might be the most dramatic field goal I've ever seen made. Caldwell.
And Prater's been great for Detroit. Obviously, when you're winning games coming from behind week after week in the fourth quarter, you get a lot of big kicks from your field goal kicker. Last year, when they won an NFL record 8 games in which they trailed in the fourth quarter, he had 6 game-winning or game-tying field goals with under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter or overtime. That's clutch.
Yeah, and then last week they lost their punter, and Prater had the punt. He needs to get a raise.
There's Jeff Locke. A good 4 years in Minnesota. As a matter of fact, he left, signed as a free agent with Indianapolis, and he got cut, which is unusual. When they sign a punter as a free agent, and they don't keep him. But Detroit was glad he was available. His kickoff run back by Dwayne Harris to the 26-yard line. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, Susie Colbert, Charles Woodson, Matthew Hasselbeck, and Randy Moss with analysis from the first half. And Scott Van Pelt, an interview with Trevor Siemian. Broncos off to a 2-0 start. Simeon's been terrific. To me, that was the biggest surprise of the weekend. Not that Denver won, but they really handled the Cowboys throughout.
Simeon looks great. I mean, from the opening kickoff, he looked like he was in total rhythm. He used all their different receivers, and Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator, the ex-San Diego Charger head coach, deserves credit also. For calling those plays.
Wayne Washington being helped off the field. So there are 7 2-0 teams. 3 of them in the AFC West with Denver, Oakland, and Kansas City. Of course, the Detroit Lions a chance to make it 8 2-0 teams if they can win tonight. Giants trying to avoid 0-2. Boos again as Shane Vereen runs. And it looks like the Giants are just going to let the first half end. They played on Sunday night last week, so they had an extra day to prepare for this one. Ben McAdoo said we needed the extra time to prepare. It hasn't served them very well, and he and his team hearing a loud chorus of boos as they head to the locker room. At the half, the Lions 17 and the Giants 7. 81 yards of offense in the half for New York. They'll get the ball to start the second half, and we'll join opening loss last Sunday night in Dallas. 7 points tonight. At the half, Justin Tuck, fellow members of the 2007 Super Bowl championship team, were honored. He looks like he could still play. Michael Strahan, Tom Coughlin, the legendary coach. Many members of that team 10 years ago here tonight to be saluted by these fans. Sean O'Hara, Jeff Beagle, Antonio Pierce among the others. Saw they're up on the stage. Wow. They're celebrating 10 years ago because there's not a lot to celebrate right now. Eli Manning, you almost have to feel sorry for him. Under siege throughout, sacked 4 times. Certainly being outplayed by Matthew Stafford, who's had a little more help.
Well, we said it in the pregame, Sean. Stafford's scrambling ability really is the difference in this game. One scramble set up the first score, and then the touchdown pass was a beautiful scramble by Stafford. And you said it with Eli. He's just got no help. He has no time to push the ball down the field. Look at this. He's trying to get Brandon Marshall on the opening possession on a double move. And if he wants to hold the ball over 3 seconds, he's getting hit. And then later he's looking for Odell Beckham on a down the field play action pass. Credit the Lions with coverage, but there's just no time to get to any place. Every time Eli has tried to push the ball down the field to Beckham or Marshall, he has been sacked. And it's frustrating. You have all these weapons. You have all these receivers, but this is not 7-on-7, one of those passing camps you go to in the summer. You have to protect better, or you can't use these great receivers.
Beckham, as many catches in his first 3 years in the NFL as any receiver in history. Marshall, a 6-time Pro Bowler. They've been targeted a combined 3 times tonight. Beckham 2 catches on his 2 targets, 1 ball thrown in the direction of Marshall. It was incomplete. They have a future Hall of Fame quarterback, twice the Super Bowl MVP. And the line isn't that bad. Eli Manning said after last week's game, it starts with me. I need to get better. And he's right. They all need to get better. And I think Ben McAdoo needs to come up with some different solutions because they've been trying the same stuff for a while. And it isn't working. Here's Jeff Locke to kick off. Dwayne Harris, middle of the end zone, takes the knee. Here is Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean. Well, Odell Beckham Jr. was a big story heading into this game. How effective he would be playing on that bad left ankle that he said was not 100%. So far, he has not had that much of an impact. 2 catches on 2 targets for 10 yards. But Beckham has only played in 8 of the Giants' offensive snaps. I asked Ben McAdoo how he plans to use Beckham in the second half, and he said, I'm just going to try to continue to pick my spots with him. John?
All right, Lisa, thank you. Orleans Darkwa, the running back. They give it to him off the left side. He gets bent back after a gain of about 3. Tahir Whitehead made the tackle. McAdoo is the play caller. There was some speculation this week in New York. At least one columnist here raised the question, would he hand off the play calling to Mike Sullivan, a former offensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, former play caller himself?
Well, the reason Ben McAdoo is your head coach is because he's an offensive guy, and they want to run his offense. They just better run it better because they got booed off the field after the first half.
To start 0-2, that's a really bad omen if you want to make the playoffs. And there he goes down again. Looked like the ball almost came out. Eli did well to hang on to it. The 5th sack of the night for the Detroit Lions. And this was a team that really struggled to sack the quarterback last year.
Well, it's a protection plan. You have to go into the locker room and figure out how to get Eric Flowers some help. But if you think he's going to block Ziggy Ansah one-on-one tonight, you're mistaken. He is ruining this game for the New York Giants. I'm shocked they're isolating him in one-on-one protection against that man right there, because Ansah is on fire.
As you saw, the ball did come out, and Eli got it back. But it's 3rd down and 9. On target throw to Darkwa, but he swung out of bounds by the rookie Jared Davis, well short of the 1st down.
This man can play, Sean. He had a sack in the first half. He's just a rookie. And when he gets a feel for this defense and improves in coverage, look out. This is a nice job by Davis. He will not come off the field. That's uncommon for a rookie linebacker. He calls all the signals. He's got rare intangibles and leadership, and he will stuff you.
All 67 of their defensive snaps against Arizona in the opener. Brad Wing the punt. Fair catch made by Jamal Agnew. 45-yard kick. Eric Flowers and the offensive line continue to struggle. They're tired of this. Since that victory, they have just one playoff win. Back in 1957, Dwight Eisenhower was the president. American Bandstand, starring Syracuse University product Dick Clark, was debuting. Elvis Presley was starring in Jailhouse Rock. Gas was 24 cents a gallon. The average cost of a house was $12,000. They beat the Browns, killed them in the NFL title game in 1957, 59-14. Their only playoff win since January of '92. They beat the Cowboys under Wayne Fontes. There's Calvin Munson, the rookie, undrafted free agent from San Diego State, getting the start tonight because B.J. Goodson, their starting middle linebacker, couldn't go with a leg injury.
Well, he made 300 tackles in college, and he had a lot of sacks in production. He just shoots a gap and makes a beautiful open field tackle. 2nd and long. Don't forget, Greg Robinson at left tackle has struggled in pass protection as well tonight.
Amir Abdullah in trouble, and he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Devon Kennard made the tackle. Well, Coach, we showed the long drought for the Detroit Lions. They have been in the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years under Jim Caldwell. But they need to win a playoff game eventually. You think this bunch looks improved, has what it takes?
I really like what they've done with their roster, Sean. Bob Quinn, the GM, hasn't just brought in a bunch of new players. He's brought in better players. They've drafted well. They've been selective in free agency at right guard and right tackle. And I think they have a superstar quarterback in Matt Stafford. I like this team.
Successive losses on this, their first possession of the 2nd half. Stafford looked like he thought he was about to go down, realized there wasn't anybody that close. Got it off to Theo Riddick. Eli Apple the tackle. Seeing more playing time tonight with Janoris Jenkins out with an injury, and it'll be a punt.
Well, it's a zone defense. Stafford maneuvering in the pocket, and it's good open field tackling by Eli Apple. Can Dwayne Harris make a play for the Giants? This man has been in the Pro Bowl as a returner. Somebody needs to jump start this football team.
Good kick by Locke, very high. Harris caught it on the run near the sideline and could not get away. Quandre Diggs was down there first and then waited for the help. 47-yard punt for the newcomer Locke. Very pleasant night here in the metropolitan New York area. Here's another reverse. Worked well in the first half for Sterling Shepard. Not that time. He's chased out of bounds for absolutely nothing.
You know, this Detroit Lion defense is led by, I think, an outstanding coaching staff, Sean. They have a great defensive line coach. Bill Sheridan coaches the linebackers. We know Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator. But look out at this defensive line. These are 4 players not many people outside of Detroit know.
Chris Kasurik, the defensive line coach, I know you love him, Coach, largely because of his energy. After a loss on first down, there's Lewis Jr. Remember, Jim Caldwell told us the defensive linemen, if they can't keep up with the pace set by this coach, they get rid of that defensive lineman and find other guys who can keep up with the program.
Look at this. They have Akeem Spence, who comes over from Tampa Bay. They've been playing Washington, number 90, who came over, Cornelius Washington, from the Chicago Bears. Ledbetter, 98's a rookie from Arkansas. And here's Odell Beckham.
His third catch of the night, and it goes for a first down. After a negative yardage play on the reverse, they overcome that. Darius Slay made the tackle. 16-yard gain, longest of the night for Beckham of his 3 catches.
And expect quick passes from Eli Manning. They can't afford to hold the ball. That has been proven tonight.
Beckham stays on the field. Paul Perkins. Again tonight, the running game for the Giants virtually non-existent. He got about 3 with that run. They have 40 yards rushing as a team.
And it's been a long time since the Giants have run the ball. I wish they'd look at that 2017 when they won the Super Bowl. They had Brandon Jacobs, Ward. They had balance. They were able to run it, but right now this is a one-dimensional football team.
Five-man rush, enough to bring pressure. Wobbly throw, but a man open, and a big gainer for New York. Jarrell Adams, one of their tight ends. Deep in Detroit territory, they're going to mark him inside the 20-yard line.
Nice job by Eli in the pocket. Anthony Zettel had a good pass rush coming off the left side. Eli stepped up, moved to his right, made a beautiful throw to Adams, another tight end that can run. Nice job by Adams. Caught in a perfect matchup against Paul Warlow, the ex-Atlanta Falcon.
After the 38-yard gain, he's on target again. It's Marshall. Just shy of the goal line.
Play action pass. They run a trap pass. The Lions are ready for the tight end, but watch Eli reset, find Marshall on the outside. Good work.
Eli told us they brought Marshall over here largely for his size and ability in the red zone, a la Plaxico Burress from days gone by. Perkins into the line. Surged a little bit forward, but didn't get much. Down at the 1. And there's a flag down. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a holding call against the Giants.
Holding, offense, number 69.
Wow.
10-yard penalty, first down.
It's Brett Jones who came in to play left guard when the starting right tackle Bobby Hart went out. They moved Justin Pugh, the left guard, out to right tackle.
Oh, that's a terrible penalty by Jones on 1st and goal at the 1. He has Jared Davis around the back. I don't see it.
After back-to-back completions of 38, the longest of the season for Manning in 17. Now they're back on the 11. High throw incomplete. In the middle of the end zone, looking for Sterling Shepard. And Quinn and Killebrew there for the Detroit Lions.
Killebrew's coming on. I saw Killebrew play safety, linebacker, and defensive end last week against Arizona. The second-year man coming into his own, had a pick 6 last week against Carson Palmer, and that time he almost stole one from Eli Manning. Where is Brandon Marshall? At the top of the screen. He has been brought here to help them in the red zone. They need a big physical presence.
Play clock running down. 1 second left as they snap it. Eli checked to a run for Shane Vereen. He got popped as he crossed the 10. Crowd doesn't like that play call. It's Miles Killebrew again. Second-year man out of Southern Utah.
Well, that's Eli Manning's training. He knew it was a soft zone, and he checked to a running play. The problem is, even though it's a soft box, there's only one linebacker in here. The Giants don't block it good enough.
On 3rd and goal from the 9. Manning steps into the throw, and a big tackle made. Ingram tackled around the legs by Glover Quinn. And the crowd wants Ben McAdoo to go for the touchdown. But a field goal here makes it a one-score game.
I think you have to kick this if you're Ben McAdoo, but you feel the urgency to go for it. Good tackling by this Lion defense. Glover Quinn.
Oh, they're going to go for it. I agree with you, John. You need to get within one score.
Well, they got their big receivers on the outside. Ingram up top, Marshall at the bottom.
And they better block. Detroit showing blitz. They rush 4, and there's a whistle. Did the play clock run out? Yes, it did. Wow. Well, it might have saved them from a mistake, because now they have to kick the field goal.
4th down.
That's bad football, Sean. You have 1st and goal at the 1, you commit a holding call, and then you go for it on 4th and goal, and you have a delay of game. Take a look at the clock.
Fourth penalty against New York. So here's Aldrich Rosas, who won a place-kicking battle in the preseason. First year kicking in the NFL. This will be a 25-yarder. And it's right down the middle. The Giants get 3. 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 7. After we're finished here in New York, stay tuned for Sports Center at night with Scott Van Pelt. SVP will have the highlights, breakdowns of our game, Major League Baseball updates, much more. Sports Center at night with SVP coming up right after Monday Night Football, also streaming live on the ESPN app. TJ Jones takes a knee.
Stafford has made a few big plays, Sean. The first one on 3rd and long, you have to be able to get out of trouble, find scramble lanes, and know where the stakes are. That's a great job. Then he saw a rotation right before the ball was snapped. Beautiful back shoulder throw to Marvin Jones, and this scramble play resulted in a touchdown. Important right now that Matt Stafford knocks the Giants out. They've been in command this entire game. It's foreign territory to the Lions. They always seem to be coming from behind, but they are letting the Giants hang around.
Well, this is unusual for them to lead in the second half. From the 25. 1st and 10, Detroit. Stafford again showing that running ability that John talked about before the game. He slides for a 5-yard gain.
Frustrating for a defense. Got to somehow contain him. And here comes the tight ends. Fells, 87. Roberts, the rookie out of Toledo, number 80. Offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter using multiple tight ends. And he has surprisingly stayed with the running game. There's a new commitment in Detroit. You can see that here tonight.
It's been more effective than usual. They've rushed for 70 yards. Average better than 4 yards a carry. Amir Abdullah wrestled down by Olivier Vernon. It'll be 3rd down and short for Detroit.
In checks Theo Riddick. 2 years ago had 80 catches. Have not seen the Lions use their backs much in the passing game. And I thought against the rookie Calvin Munson, number 46, that would be a matchup for sure you would see more often.
Riddick has just 2 catches. He's averaged more than 5 catches per game over the last 2 seasons in Detroit. Design roll and the throw right on target for a 1st down. Eli Apple knocked Golden Tate out of bounds, but it's 1st and 10 for Detroit at the 37-yard line.
They do a nice job in Detroit I call them slot combinations, two receivers working together. They use a lot of motion to back these corners off and create some separation. That's just good footwork by Golden Tate.
Hey, give me Kershaw here, Kershaw.
Did he say Kershaw?
Kershaw. Matthew Stafford's childhood buddy back in Highland Park in the Dallas area. Theo Riddick will get extra points from the Russian judge for the sit spin as he made it to the 45-yard line with Kershaw and Matthew Stafford. Buddies for a long time. They played youth sports together. Kershaw was Stafford's center on the football team. Stafford was the catcher for Kershaw when he pitched in baseball.
That's amazing.
Kershaw is the highest paid baseball player, $33 million, as he hurls for the Dodgers. And as he mentioned, Matthew Stafford just became the highest paid NFL player, $27 million a year. Kershaw lost tonight for the Dodgers. He was 17-3 heading into action, and his buddy Stafford runs for another first down to the 50-yard line. They stay in regular contact.
And you see T.J. Lang, the ex-Green Bay Packer, coming to Stafford's defense. When you're scrambling, I used to tell our quarterbacks, go feet first. Don't go head first. Try to get some protection, and you're going to see T.J. Lang come out of nowhere, sticking up for his quarterback. That's one tough guy. Number 76.
I think Bruce is another one of his high school buddies.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Maybe he's good pals with Bruce Springsteen. I think Bruce does pretty well at the bank as well. Flag down as Riddick went spinning ahead for about 3 yards.
Well, you see what Stafford's doing, Sean. He's seeing these safety
Holding.
blitzes.
Offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty replay. First down.
And he's audibling to running plays away from the blitz. That time they got Graham Glasgow with a holding call. But we said this coming in here, the development of Stafford at the line of scrimmage is something to really take an eye full of, because they have given him the green light to change plays whenever he sees fit.
Jim Caldwell says that's what has impressed him as much as anything else about his quarterback. He continues to improve in his 9th year in the league. Abdullah, nice hold as he sliced back to the right. All kinds of flags thrown.
This crew threw 25 last week, and they're off to a good number tonight.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Do you think the league knew? We talked about the 2007 reunion, 10th anniversary of the Giants Super Bowl championship team after the 2007 season. John Perry was the referee in that game.
You know a lot of stuff, man.
I know a lot of things that aren't particularly meaningful, such as that. Actually, he was the referee the last time they won the Super Bowl. See, I even got it wrong. I thought I knew something, but no one else knew. 2012, February, he was the referee of the Super Bowl win over the Patriots. First down and 30. Second down and 28. JPP penetration. Jonathan Casillas in on the stop.
That's a predictable draw play situation. Dalvin Tomlinson, the rookie out of Alabama, sat on the line of scrimmage. He knew it was coming, and once again, the Detroit Lions can't seem to put the Giants away. They got to be very careful, because Olivier Vernon at the bottom of the screen is staring down Greg Robinson at left tackle.
Final seconds of the third quarter. They're trying to chip away at this long yardage situation. Riddick taken down by Jay Bromley, 4th-year defensive tackle from the Harvard of Central New York, Syracuse University.
Gonna try to get one off here, Sean.
Yeah, catch them off guard, and they did. And really nobody lined up for the Giants. And Stafford throws a deep ball that's incomplete. The secondary rallied. There is a flag down, and it's in the secondary. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie tipped the pass. That was thrown to Kenny Golladay.
Stafford read that.
At the snap, 12 men on the field. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
You saw the substitution. There's a one-word code word, and you try to get it off
the third quarter
before the lineman can get off the field. And a lot of penalties in that third quarter.
One touchdown so far this season for the Giants. They're down. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters. Our producer Jay Rothman, our director Chip Dean, and our terrific Monday Night Football crew. Happy to have you with us. The rare fourth quarter lead to start the fourth quarter for the Detroit Lions. Both of these quarterbacks over and over again throughout their careers have demonstrated the ability to lead their team back. 3rd and 18. Looked like the Giants were offside. Stafford knows it. He throws a bomb too high. Oh, and then after the ball's gone, Russ Cockrell swung down Golden Tate. They're probably going to get another chance on 3rd down.
Oh, it's Olivier Vernon, offsides. You get a free play, take a shot.
Offside. Defense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
Some sloppy football here in the last 10 minutes. Top of the screen. Vernon's offside. Stafford knew it. He had a free play. Why not take a shot? These long yardage situations, the Giants have been rushing 3 men, using 8 in coverage. Can they contain Matt Stafford and not let him escape? That's where he's done most of his damage.
Third and 13 was 1st and 30 at one point. Giants blitz. It was the middle linebacker Munson who got picked up, but Stafford threw it incomplete in the direction of Marvin Jones with Eli Apple in coverage, and Detroit will punt.
That's why Steve Spagnuolo is a very good defensive coordinator. He brings an overload blitz left side of the formation. And you're going to see Theo Riddick, the running back, slide over to pick it up, but Stafford got spooked, threw it away. Just when you think he's going to rush 3, he brings an overload blitz, and just when you think you're getting the overload blitz, you don't get anything. He does an excellent job self-scouting himself. Here's Dwayne Harris again.
And Locke on the punt. Fair catch signal made by Harris at the 18-yard line. 35-yard punt. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes NFL players for their excellence on and off the field. Tonight we focus on the 2016 co-winner Eli Manning. His charitable and community endeavors really too numerous to list. The video tells a large part of the story. He and his wife Abby spent a lot of time and energy and money raising funds to fight childhood cancer. They helped raise $2.5 million to build a children's clinic in Mississippi. He was the first Giant to win it in the 47-year history of the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. Wasn't always named for Walter Payton. Darkwa, the ball carrier on 1st down. It was nice to speak with Eli about that too. It's a great honor. The players who win it cherish it. His dad, Archie Manning, was very friendly with Walter Payton. Talked a lot to Eli as a youngster about what an impressive man Walter Payton was. And he enjoyed sharing with Larry Fitzgerald. So the last time we were up for the same award, we were at the Heisman Trophy. Neither one of us won. Jason White won.
Jason White beat Larry Fitzgerald and Eli Manning. That's good trivia.
Old Oklahoma quarterback. 2nd and 8, as ugly as it's been again on offense for New York. They're down by just a touchdown with 14 minutes to go. 5-man rush, and open is Marshall, and he drops the ball.
A little hesitation at the line of scrimmage, and he beat DJ Hayden, the ex-Oakland Raider, clean. And been a combination of a lot of things, and dropping the football is one of them. Got to make that play in a 17-10 game.
Six-time Pro Bowler, the only player in the history of the league to make the Pro Bowl with 4 different teams. Denver, Miami, Chicago, and the Jets. Would have been about a 30-yard gain. Now it's 3rd down and 8. Ingram didn't quite get to the 1st down marker, it appears. And it's going to be 4th down and 1. And no hesitation from Ben McAdoo.
Well, Jalen Reeves made it, stuck into the game as a linebacker, missed that tackle, and Detroit dodges a bullet I thought Ingram had the first down. Drop passes. That was a big problem for the Giants last year. You talk about the Giants not scoring points. Dropping the football is a big reason for it.
Odell Beckham Jr. dropped 8 in the regular season last year. That was 6th most in the league. Booming punt by Wing. But Jamal Agnew, a nice return. He goes by the punter Wing, and he is off to the races. Jamal Agnew, the rookie out of the University of San Diego, makes it a 2-score game.
That's another Bob Quinn draft choice. Jim Caldwell told us we have 24 new players on this year's Lions team, and you're going to see a lot of young guys playing critical roles, and you won't see a punt return this good for a while. It's a great catch. Unbelievable open field running.
He can run. He ran 88 yards after a 60-yard punt. That's Zach Diassi, the long snapper, among those who could not get Agnew on the ground. No chance for Wing.
He did it last week against Arizona. He showed up, and here he is again tonight. Should be offsides.
So Prater will have another chance. Working with the new Holder Lock, who just arrived here a couple of days ago. They spent a lot of time in practice working on that operation.
Offside. Defense number 31. 5-yard penalty. Detroit selected a re-kick from the 10-yard line.
Can't say enough about Jim Caldwell. He's in the last year of his contract. Everybody asks him every week, are you worried about your extension? Are you worried about keeping your job? He says, I worry about my men and my mission. And the mission is winning. I don't think he could care less about anything else. I like that man a lot, and he has done a great job with his young Lion team.
It was the best record through 50 regular season games for the Detroit Lions of any head coach dating back to the 1950s. Go to 2-0. The Giants in jeopardy of falling to 0-2. Another big night for Matthew Stafford. 4 touchdown passes in their opening win against Arizona. 2 more tonight. He's hurt the Giants a couple of times tonight with his running ability. Jeff Locke kicks off. Dwayne Harris the deepest, and he's not going to try it. Well, we've talked about the similarities between these two quarterbacks all night long, Stafford and Manning. Since 2011, Matthew Stafford leads all quarterbacks 27 fourth quarter overtime drives to win games, and that's first. Second is Eli Manning with 20 of those kind of drives. He's capable of it, but it's an ugly looking bunch on offense right now.
Well, there's been a lot of penalties, and they have struggled at left tackle with Eric Flowers. And in this predictable passing situation, can the New York Giants pass protect? It's been the same story for a while around here.
118, what's that?
A play fake. It looked like they wanted to throw it short to Ingram. Instead, it wound up in the direction of Marshall. And we've talked another similarity, John, between these teams at the left tackle position. They brought back the entire offensive line, all 5 from last year, including Flowers, who gets the brunt of it from the fans here in New York for the struggles of the offensive line. The Lions have Greg Robinson. They got him out of necessity with a trade at the end of training camp, but they know they're going to get Taylor Decker back at some point. He played very well last year. What can the Giants do?
Well, the Giants have to find a way to get a creative protection plan together and help Flowers. They have to get help for Flowers. He's not ready to handle great rushers in one-on-one pass protection. He's lacking the confidence, the foot speed, and the natural pass protection skills to get it done over there in predictable passing situations. I'm surprised they don't look at Pugh at left tackle and let Flowers go to right tackle, where a lot of us think he should have been drafted to play at.
Manning, look out. Spins around. He got absolutely drilled, and the wobbler winds up in the hands of Sterling Shepard.
You just said it, Sean. 20 comebacks. That's one of the reasons why. He will take risks. And that is one of the truly great throws you'll ever see. He is going to get crushed. And he has a knack for making plays like that. Cornelius Washington smashes Eli Manning.
I wonder if he'll live long enough to complete the comeback if they're able to get within striking range. Perkins, the ball carrier. Ansah's had 3 sacks tonight. He had 2 all of last season. Now, admittedly, he had an injured ankle. Week 2, suffered a high ankle sprain last year, missed 3 games. It really bothered him the rest of the year. But he said he is glad 2016 is over. He's looking forward to this year, and he is off to a great start. 2nd and 9. Oof. You can hear what the crowd thinks of that call. Paul Perkins swung down by Ashawn Robinson.
There was just no running game whatsoever, and you talk about lack of pass protection, and now you say lack of a running game. It's just too much Eli Manning. When you watch him right now, he has to do it all for this Giant offense. He's got to recognize the defense, he's got to communicate the proper play, and he's got to make all the throws under serious pressure.
48 yards rushing. Perkins 7 rushes for 10 yards. He catches the ball, but he's short of the first down by about 2.5 yards. Perkins carried 7 times last week against Dallas for 16 yards. So he has 14 carries for 26 yards on the year. His longest of the 7 runs last week was 3 yards. Jared Davis, starting middle linebacker. Rookie out of Florida, the injured player. He's from South Georgia, Kingsland, Georgia.
He's hustling to the football, and a block in the back.
Injury timeout, 10:20 to go. 4th and 3 for New York. Lions medical personnel has taken Jared Davis into the tent on the near sideline. He'll be put through the concussion protocol, and here's the hit by Odell Beckham Jr.
That's a block in the back. That's an illegal block in the back. You can't miss that call, and I bet Jerry even agrees with me.
I agree with you, Coach. That's an illegal block in the back. A receiver coming back toward the ball. If he's coming back, he's got to be clearly on the side for it not to be a foul.
It was not flagged. It's 4th and 3, and the Giants are going to go for it, down by 2 touchdowns, approaching 10 minutes to go. Shane Vereen, the running back. Detroit rushes only 3. They go to cover, and it looks like Vereen got belted down by Quandre Diggs, short of the first down.
Quandre Diggs with a sensational play. It's all going to depend on the spot, as I always say.
One of the best in the business there to market, Jeff Seaman, the line judge.
Diggs, who missed last year's game against the Giants, sorely missed. They exposed his backup. And tonight, he comes out of nowhere to get Shane Vereen, and I think he's short.
You see Jeff Seaman, the official, all over the far sideline. He's the son of the late Jerry Seaman, longtime outstanding referee.
Will Jim Caldwell's challenge this spot?
Wow. I thought the spot was fine. Look, I don't know if the yellow line was off a little bit or chains were off.
He's listening to his coaches in the press box.
Yeah, he's got that challenge flag in his hand as well. And he's throwing it.
Tried to challenge the previous play, forward progress in relationship to the first down. We'll review the play.
He's short. That's a great challenge. There's no doubt in my mind he's short.
I agree with you. You can see the markers right there on the 49-yard line, and the ball doesn't get there. I still meant what I said about Jeff Seaman. 12 years in a row in the playoffs. Outstanding official.
Well, the game's on the line with this call. They have these new tablets down there, and we're seeing exactly what he's looking at and talking to Al Riveron back in New York City. Is this a first down, or is he clearly short?
I think he's clearly short by about a half yard. Big tackle by Diggs. Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator, said Diggs didn't play well last year. Well, they've made a decision apparently, because up comes the slate.
Hey, Diggs is a heck of a player. I mean, they have a good young football team, and last year Asa Jackson had to play the nickel position.
Progress spot. We're going to replace the ball at the 49.5-yard line and remeasure. Detroit has won the challenge. They are not charged with the timeout.
You mentioned Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a contract. That's unusual for a coach just about any major sport in America in his final year. As you said, he said, I'm not even thinking about it. I've made a lot of money coaching. That's not an issue. Focused on my men and my mission of winning the Super Bowl. And we spoke to Bob Quinn about it. He said, well, Jim and I have agreed we're not going to talk about it. But the more we talked to Bob Quinn, I said, well, wouldn't it be logical then, if he doesn't have a contract, that you want to see him coach more before you make a decision about he's the coach for the future? He said, yeah, that's basically it. But I don't know what more he has to do. He's as genuine a person as there is in the league. The results speak for themselves the last few years. Yeah, you'd like to win some playoff games, but they're trending up.
Well, he might like what he sees tonight after they win this challenge. That's great coaching. And Quandre Diggs, get back to Diggs. What a play that was. He came out of nowhere to make that tackle on Shane Vereen. That's big time.
And that development has sent a lot of the folks toward the exits here at MetLife Stadium.
Try to update you on Jared Davis, young linebacker who was helped off the field, and let's hope that's nothing serious.
Yeah, he's heading to the locker room. Very likable young man. Said he told his dad when he was 6 years old, John Davis, that he was going to play football as his living. Linebacker and a running back in high school. The coaches went to him and said, we want you to just play linebacker. He didn't like it. He went home, complained to his parents. His mother said, well,
clock. 10 minutes, 2 seconds. 10:02 on the game clock, please. First and 10, Detroit.
If you don't want to listen to what your coaches say and do what they tell you, then you can come home instead of play football, and you can do a lot of chores around the house. So he decided it was better to be a linebacker.
He's our kind of guy. He's all football all the time, and he looks like he's going to be okay. That's a great sign. I'm happy to see that.
So the Lions with the ball. Now under 10 minutes to go. And they're protecting a 14-point lead. Amir Abdullah tackled by Damon Snacks Harrison. Lisa Salter's profile player before the game. Got that nickname Snacks when he was the Jets, always hanging around the Snacks near the facility. Rex Ryan, the former Jets coach, gave him that nickname.
Got to watch for the safety blitzes, protect both edges. Giants got to strip the ball.
Stafford let the play clock go down to 6. Time the ally, obviously, of the Lions. Abdullah, he's run with some urgency tonight, coming back off that Liz Frank injury of a year ago that required surgery.
Yes, he has. And what Matt Stafford's doing, Sean, is he sees these safety blitzes a mile away. That's the 5th time he's audible to a running play away from the blitz. And this will not show up in the stat sheet, but Matthew Stafford has done a lot of good things at the line of scrimmage, communicating and recognizing defenses, and this is a big 3rd down for the Giants. They got to get off the field.
Rager has a big leg, but this might be a little beyond his range. Stafford back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The rookie Calvin Munson who also pitched on the baseball team at San Diego State in addition to his football exploits, made the tackle. And it's 4th down and 10, and they will punt.
And if I'm Jim Caldwell, I might just let this clock run out. Take the 5-yard penalty and pin him inside the 10. Locke has done an excellent job as a Minnesota Viking punting the ball inside the 10-yard line. Let that clock go all the way down and let Locke do what he does best.
Under 8 minutes to go. Very high. And he does it again, coach. Dwayne Harris, the fair catch at the 7-yard line. 39-yard punt. Time running out for Eli Manning. Hurricanes Harvey and Irma have impacted millions of people. The entire NFL family, players, teams, fans, committed to continuing to support the relief efforts. Don't forget about these people. We invite fans across the country to join us in a huddle for relief as we rally behind those who have been affected by the storms and continue to be. Visit redcross.org/NFL or text Red Cross to 90999.
You're going to have to throw the ball now, whether they want to or not.
Apparently they don't want to. Shane Vereen carries. Those who remain boo the play call. Now Ben McAdoo is going to start to feel some heat. There was already some speculation about the future, as we mentioned, the play calling, but looks like the honeymoon's over. He won 11 games last year as a rookie head coach and made it to the playoffs, but this has gone south fast.
Well, you're the head coach, you have to take criticism. I think some of these players got to play a heck of a lot better than I've seen them play tonight.
Sterling Shepard the catch, and now Vereen. Short gain to the 30-yard line. Under 7 minutes to go. Tyre Whitehead made the tackle for the Lions.
Be careful with Beckham at the bottom of the screen. And Darius Slay, big play Slay, the best corner of the Lions, is going to keep an eye on Beckham.
Beckham's played about half their offensive snaps. Shepard thought he was being held. So did the crowd, but no flag thrown against Quandre Diggs.
I love Quandre Diggs. 2 years ago, he was one of my grinders, Sean. I've had a lot of Lions as my grinder. I just like the way they play. They play hard. They play every down, and they're unselfish.
On 3rd and 5, another conversion. Odell Beckham Jr.
I thought that was going to be a marquee battle tonight. Slay versus Beckham. That's good on good. Ones versus ones at the bottom of the screen.
10-yard gain, 4th catch for Beckham. Vereen, the ball carrier, and just about every running play is going to get booed, particularly when they don't go anywhere.
A lot of time left. Don't forget, Eli Manning has pulled out some miraculous come-from-behind victories. They got to get one score at a time, but they are being quite patient.
Indeed they are. There's Red Ellison. Tackled by Jalen Reeves-Maybin, the rookie out of Tennessee, who's come into the game for his fellow rookie Jared Davis.
You know, one of the key traits in a championship team is your 4th quarter pass rush. And now is the time for Anza to do what he did earlier in the game.
Eli stepped into the pocket, got it off. Shane Vereen weaving down the far side and inside the 30-yard line. Whitehead on the tackle after a 20-yard gain.
I hope some of the New York Giants appreciate Eli Manning and what he's done tonight under serious pressure. That's just a great job finding a completion with a pocket collapsing.
It's amazing with the beating he has taken, especially the last couple of years, that he's making his 201st consecutive start tonight. He throws toward the end zone for Marshall, and it's broken up by Darius Slay.
That's a big play, Slay. I like that name. He got hurt last year in the game against the Giants, and they missed their star right corner out of Mississippi State. But Brandon Marshall has been invisible in this game and in this season for the Giants. Credit Slay with a beautiful pass breakup.
4:47 to go. from the 29. Manning throwing while backing up as the pressure was again coming. Evan Ingram, the intended receiver.
You know, in these situations, I remember when we had a great pass rush, I would use my timeouts on defense. I'd take a timeout just to let Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice get a drink of water so they could finish the game. And you're not taking these timeouts home with you to Detroit. Don't be surprised if the Lions don't use a timeout to freshen their pass rushers. Hans is not even on the field.
Alex Barrett is out there. Undrafted rookie out of San Diego State. Play clock at 1. They blitz from Manning's right. He dodged that. Throws on the run for Ingram, and he couldn't catch it. Near the goal line. Wow. Laying the lumber in that Detroit secondary. Darius Slay and Miles Killebrew. There as the ball arrived to Ingram.
Darius Slay makes an unbelievable play. Comes out of nowhere to reject Ingram. Legal hit. That's outstanding work by Darius Slay. He gets Marshall and then he gets Ingram at closing time.
3 straight incompletions for Manning, and now a must-convert 4th down and 10 with 4.5 minutes to go. Given time, throws, and it is incomplete. Beckham couldn't catch it. Even if he did, going to the ground for it, he was going to be about 2 yards short of the first down.
His receivers got to play better. Too many drops in critical moments, and that ball should have been caught.
No question. To include the 2 drops in the playoff loss at Green Bay, he had 10 drops last year. And that's a lot. You mentioned earlier his 8 regular season drops are 6th most in the league. Great to have Hank Williams Jr. back with us this year. Jason Derulo, Florida Georgia line, will all be. Well, they won't be there. That's on tape. But we'll be in Arizona for Monday Night Football next week. The Cardinals off an overtime win yesterday in Indianapolis against the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys. Here's the only good news for the Giants. If this one goes in the loss column as it looks, Coach, everybody else is 1-1 in the division. Redskins, Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, all 1-1. But this is a team that's talking Super Bowl before the year started.
Well, they're missing a lot of key members tonight also. When you look out there, your right tackle leaves the game at the very beginning. I don't know who Calvin Munson is. He's your middle linebacker. Cockrell's playing corner. They have some issues, and Odell Beckham is still not 100%. Brandon Marshall has not arrived yet.
He's done very little on offense in the second half until now. Here's Amir Abdullah off to the races, and he's spun down by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who then clutches his knee after making the tackle at the 34-yard line.
Well, we were told there is a new commitment to running the football, and I am impressed with the way the Lions have stayed with it all night long. I haven't seen a Detroit Lion team with this kind of balance in a long time. I think they've run the ball more than they've passed it. If you would have told me that coming in here, I would never believe you. And Abdullah can play. All he has to do is stay healthy, but it's good to see him healthy off of that foot injury that cost him most of the season a year ago.
34-yard run by Abdullah. Now Theo Riddick tackled by Damon Harrison. And Coach, it was interesting talking to Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator, last night. He said when he went about the business of trying to improve the running game in the offseason, he said, I needed to get better. He said, my background is as a quarterback at the University of Tennessee. I've been a quarterback coach, so most of my career I've been paying attention to the passing game and protections and reading coverages and that sort of thing. But he went into a deep dive in the film room, studied a lot of other teams that he thinks are impressive in running the football, and it's paying off tonight.
Well, we said it earlier. Who's your best back? Clearly he's going with Amir Abdullah. Who are your best blockers? He's been running right behind Lang and Wagner. And what is your best scheme? Well, it's the outside zone, and they have run that play very well against one of the top rushing defenses in football. If you're playing the Lions, you better watch out. They're going to run the ball right, and Amir Abdullah is healthy once again.
He has 86 yards rushing. You mentioned they haven't had a 100-yard rushing. Whoa. Riddick flattened, finished off by Olivier Vernon. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher in a game since Reggie Bush in 2013. They could get that tonight. Another New York Giants timeout with 2:46 to go. Abdullah's a good back, highly touted out of Nebraska in his 3rd year. He was still a little despondent when we visited him last night about the Huskers' loss to Northern Illinois over the weekend. He keeps in close touch with the Nebraska program.
But you know, I go back to some of the free agents that they have added. This right tackle is a good player, Wagner. The right guard has been a heck of a player for Green Bay, and they added Fells. Remember this name, Sean. Number 87, Darren Fells, came over from Arizona, and he's been a blocker. And they use Ebron, 85, as the receiving tight end. But they've added some key components to help this running game.
Here's Riddick following Rick Wagner, and looks like he got the first down. He was on top of the defender without going down and then lunged forward, and wow, that's going to be a first down for Detroit. Ben McAdoo's going to use his last timeout.
Look at Wagner, 71. Pull around the corner and lead the way, and then it's all Theo Riddick. Riddick played wide receiver at Notre Dame, and he's a versatile back. But when you get a guy like Wagner and Lang, veterans that can come in here and maul people on the right side of your line, that's a good feeling. Look at these two guys. They look like old-fashioned Detroit Lions, man. They look like old-school ball players. And Swanson,
about the
64.
Changes of Bob Quinn.
Right.
He's only been the general manager since 2016. But there are only 18 players left from the end of the 2015 season off the 53-man roster. And only 5 teams in the league have changed over more players in that time than have the Lions. And you said not just changing players, replacing them with better players.
Yeah. You know, the old thing about technology, you got the guy coming into your house and he gives you a new remote. It's new technology. I don't want new technology. I want my old remote. I want better technology. I don't know if that's a good analogy for you, McDonough, but a lot of these teams, they just seem to change players. Let's get a new right guard. Let's get a new receiver. Let's get a new defensive back. No. Bob Quinn has gotten better players in the 2 years he's been in Detroit. They're going to leave here with a convincing road victory. When was the last time Matt Stafford and the Lions beat a playoff team on the road? There's some trivia for you.
I'm not sure this is going to be a playoff team in New York. Matter of fact, the odds are against them. Since they went to the current format in 2012, 8 divisions, only 10.5% of the teams that started at 0-2 made the playoffs. The Dolphins did it last year. There's been one 0-2 team make the playoffs each of the last 4 years. But New York is about to be 0-2 for the 4th time in the last 5 years.
And not only that, Sean, they've got to go on the road at Philadelphia. And if you have pass protection problems, that's not the play.
Scotty, look forward to be back with you in a few minutes. 2-minute warning here. And a rough night again for Ben McAdoo's New York Giants.
Eli Manning gets sacked 5 times. Interception, ball thrown behind Evan Ingram. They lose the turnover battle, a delay a game on 4th and goal. Brandon Marshall drops a huge play, and then on 4th down, Beckham drops a ball. Not just one problem. These Giants got to wake up.
They're throwing the special teams as well. He gave up an 88-yard punt return for a touchdown. 2-minute warning, 2nd and 10 for Detroit. Theo Riddick. No timeouts left for the Giants. Marshall's been a non-factor in 2 games. 1 catch in each game. Does extend the 2nd longest active streak with reception to 161 games. They've never lost each of the first 2 games of the season by 14 or more. That is about to happen, barring something dramatic. Also going to end a 6-game home winning streak for the Giants. They went 7-1 here last year. The only home loss in week 3 to the Redskins. Calvin Munson the tackle on Theo Riddick. A minute to go. It's 4th down. I agree with everything you said about Bob Quinn. I think he's done a fantastic job after 16 years in New England. Give Jim Caldwell a contract. Why have that hanging over your head? The players like him. He has a terrific staff. He's done an excellent job. Historically good, in fact, relative to other head coaches. Taking a team to the Super Bowl. He was the offensive coordinator of a team that won the Super Bowl in Baltimore. Top shelf guy. Give him the deal.
I can't argue with you. I am just shocked, though, that the Giants haven't been able to score. As an outsider, I just felt that with all this firepower, all 5 linemen returning, I thought this would be a fun offense to watch, and perhaps it will be, but they are a long way off right now.
That's hard to believe.
Hard. You know, they've had drop passes, and again, they can't run the football. Everything looks hard right now for the Giants, and I've been there. I've been through 2-3 games. When I call plays, we had a lot of days like this. McDonough, we really did.
Well, you had a lot of good days, too, including a Super Bowl championship. Lions in the prevent defense. They're throwing a running play, what might be the last play. So this will be 8 straight games now for the Giants without reaching 20 points, including the playoff loss to Green Bay last year. Last time the Giants went 8 games in a row without reaching 20 points back in 1978 and 79, when they went 17 games in a row without reaching 20. So there are now 8 2-0 teams, including the Detroit Lions, trying to get to the Super Bowl for the first time